Hi, it's Philip again. In my last video, I spoke about cost of living in Canada and how it's gonna cost you if you think about coming over. For those of you that think about coming here to work and you're wondering if your current profession is well accepted. I mentioned in my previous video, I said if you say a doctor, healthcare professional, let's just say that if you're a healthcare professional, and then if you a nurse, a doctor, an engineer, an architect, thing like that, your paper most likely will not be accepted, because they always think about code of practice, ethics, thing like that. So what kind of profession does the Canadian workforce or the Canadian employer or the Canadian government really looked at? Well, I'm not going to say about the Canadian government. I would just say what exactly that is in demand. The in-demand job are those that work in hard labor jobs that people don't want to do. I'm not talking like working in a restaurant or in a kitchen, in a hotel, those kind of things. No. The job that is in demand right now are plumber, carpenter, electrician, laborer, specialized laborer, specialized equipment operator. Now, what do I mean by that? If you are a equipment operator, such as an excavator, a wheel loader, those kind of thing, then yes, you can find job here. You can, because you don't need a degree, a diploma. All you need to show is that you are very good at it. And another thing that makes it easy for you to come here is if you know somebody here that works in the profession. Now, I'm going to use one example because this is the one that I know. The Philippines. The Filipinos have a lot of Filipino community here, and I met a lot of them from my own country. I came from Malaysia, and then they work in Malaysia, and then they were able to come here to work because the Filipino speaks English. And if you have good command of English, and then you have this hard skill, not soft skill, hard skill meaning like you can use your hand and work like an equipment operator, then you can find work here. Hard labor is what I mean, like if you are a carpenter, you are a concrete guy, policeman, or you are a rebar guy that can do fixing rebars, then it's easier for you to find job here. The guys that I met on site, because I work in construction, they are piling rig operator, concrete prom operator, and then I also met a bunch of concrete finisher, carpenter, what else? If you are a electrician, they are also in demand. Plumber, they are in demand. Another one that you probably can try and come to work here is long haul truck driver, provided that you're already driving a long haul truck like a semi 18 wheelers, right? Then you can get that. But other than that, I mean, if you think about coming here to work as a logistic guy, working in a warehouse, forklift operator, or I don't know, reception, no, there's no demand for it. There's too much of those so-called low-end immigrants that come here with low skill that not in demand. That's why right now in Canada, a lot of this millennial or Gen Z, the new graduate from university or from colleges, they can't find work because the market is flooded by this entry level job by immigrants, like especially Indians and the Filipinos. They just too many of them. And if you work in old age home, like care home, also quite difficult because they are also flooded by the Filipinos. Filipinos and the Indians, basically, these are the two groups that flooded the market right now. If you want to come here and you work in this kind of work, they make good money. Like the Filipino folks that I met, they're from Philippines. They came to Canada like 2 to 4 years ago, and they were able to save enough money to buy a home. And then I met a lot Filipinos also that came here more than a decade, and they work in hospitality, like hotel, restaurant, or in just any of those shops, like in the mall one. They couldn't save money to buy a home. They just pay rent. So as an equipment operator or work in construction as a carpenter or rebar fixer, those kind of things, they pay well. It's hard work. It's not many people are willing to do that. And if you have those kind of skill, then you are in good demand, provided you can read English and speak English. Because if you don't, they're not gonna hire you. I know, as the entry level in construction, if you just work as a laborer, you can get somewhere around $22 to $24 an hour, Canadian dollar. So, and then if you're frugal and then you work hard, you can make it. So this is the topic I want to discuss for today. I'm not gonna make it long. This is my longest topic I've discussed, and I'm gonna discuss more about how you guys can come here to work, because I know I live here many years, and I know the system, and I know how people can find work, what work is in demand, those kind of things, and then how to come in here to work. The visa wise, you guys have to figure it out from your country, from where you're coming from. But in terms of what is in demand, don't listen to the government. The government only tell the world what they want to listen. But I work in the front line. I know what we need, what we're short of. Okay, so if you want to know more, just stay tuned. I will do more. I try to get out as much video as I can, because for me, for those of you that already watched my previous videos, I already mentioned this year going to be my final year of work. I'm 55 right now. I don't want to work longer than I have to. My mentality was, I'm just gonna vacate my post and let the younger generation take over, because otherwise, if an older guy like me, a senior guy like me, just sit on my current position, my junior folks won't be able to go up the rank. So I'm just doing a favor to myself and to my colleagues that wants to move up the rank, let them do the job. So stay tuned, maybe subscribe, let your friends know, share the video, and then I will see you again the next time.